You want me to do the intro?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, go.
You're leading on the Pitchfork with Trace and Matt.
There we go.
There we go. That was easy.
All right, so we're back here at the North Lanark Regional Museum.
Third episode.
So yeah, this is leading on the Pitchfork, third episode. Hard to believe. So we've gone through Halloween, a time change, Remembrance Day, all these things.
Remembrance Day.
Yeah.
That is, to me, the most stressful time of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, it is.
Because I always want to make sure I have my poppy on.
Mm-hmm.
I stress that I don't have my poppy on. I've lost it. And it's a very emotional time.
Yeah. It's hard to believe this is already our third, though.
You know, the one thing that this has taught me, two things this has taught me. One, this makes time go by real fast because we usually have it up later on tonight. And then for the remainder of the week, now we're doing this on a Tuesday night instead of a
Wednesday. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
But we're doing it tonight because tomorrow night we have a meeting here at the museum. So we're doing our board meeting. And
I'd like to say a shout out, a huge thank you to the North Lanark Regional Museum for letting us record in their amazing space.
Yeah.
We're grateful to have their support for such an inspiring setting to bring our podcast to life.
I like it. I like it. It's people are liking the idea that we're doing it at the museum.
Yeah, it adds to it. It's better than doing it in some random place.
And it's good publicity for them.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody wants to check out their Facebook page, we got a great Facebook page. Our website has lots and lots of material. So any parents who have kids having to do a history essay or a history assignment, check it out. There's lots of...
They also have an Instagram page as well, I believe, and Facebook.
We have a TikTok. Now, the TikTok hasn't really been getting going much.
Okay. And what's TikTok?
It's the same as TikTok.
TikTok, yeah. I call it TikTok. I'm joking. I know what TikTok is. But my kids, I tell them it's TikTok, and they think I'm cringy for that.
That's okay. So just a reminder, the 20th, we are having our guest speaker. I lost that piece of paper that, no, I got it right here. The piece of paper that Doreen sent for me last time. So November 20th at 7 p.m. At the museum here at 647 River Road in Appleton, Lieutenant General Eric Kenny will share his knowledge on the past, the present, and the future of the Royal Canadian Air Force. This year they're celebrating their centennial, and there's no charge to attend, but donations are greatly appreciated.
All right. That's great.
Yeah. So
I'm on their website now. It's northlanarkregionalmuseum.com.
Yep.
Pretty easy to remember.
Pretty easy.
That's a nice website. Yeah. So I see in the museum news a white tea Christmas.
White tea Christmas.
Yeah.
And if you look at it here, I'll see if I can pull it up on my computer. There's we just launched a virtual on the doctors and that.
Okay. Pharmacies in Pakenham? I see some pictures. Doctors in Pakenham. What else do we have here?
But the internet's a little slow here. Oh, I just went to Google Keep. Oh, frig. I'm such a loser when it comes to this stuff. Anyways, check out their website. Their website has lots and lots of information.
I just noticed this. It's a very nicely laid out website. And another thing is, next time we have a podcast, I'd like to come here. It'd be nice, or I should come on the weekend or whenever it's open, just to explore this place a little bit more, because it's unbelievable the amount of stuff in here. So
yeah, there's lots and lots of stuff, and that we change the display every couple of months
with different artifacts in it.
Yeah,
I know. I've already noticed a change in a few things, so that's good. Lots of pride and care kept in this.
So that's our first major shout out. I do have a couple of other extra shout outs to do here. So we were just talking about the Remembrance Day ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to give a big shout out to our local Legion, Branch 240, Almont Legion. They did an amazing job. So the way the Mississippi Mills is set up, there's 3 areas, different places where we do Remembrance Day.
Okay.
Pakenham, Clayton, and Almont. And the Legion oversees all 3 of them. Kind of hard to do 3 Remembrance Day ceremonies in one day. So Clayton is always a day or so before. So on Saturday, my mom and I went up to Clayton for the Remembrance Day up there, and it was just absolutely beautiful. It's a small little village. Right on the water is a cenotaph, and I can't say enough of how it was. The pipe band comes down the street from the hall.
Oh, that's nice.
The cadets saluted at the cenotaph. It was great. And then my mom was in on Monday to the one in Almont, and she said it was just as beautiful. So, our Legion's not a big Legion. It's, certainly not compared to Ottawa and some of the other big cities.
Whereabout is the Legion in Almont? Is it in Almont?
It is in Almont, yeah.
And
it's
that's
just
the
down
one
from
Legion for
that's the one region
the outlying
Legion
areas.
for Mississippi Mills. So yeah, a big shout out. Yeah, and the thing is, I get it. People like to go to Ottawa and they like to, do the thing. But to me, it's, there's connections in the little small towns, right? The people who are in the crowds, it was their grandfather, it was their uncle, there was a great uncle. So, anybody who next year, if you're looking to go to a Remembrance Day ceremony, consider going to a small town. It's
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
It's nice. And also our town made the CBC News and the Global News because we've done a great big poppy, crocheted a whole bunch of poppies. I should have known this before I said this. I think it was 10,000 and they're all over Mississippi Mills.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll check on that before the end of our podcast. But yeah, so that's my first shout out. My second shout out is to one of our former students. Now you wouldn't know this lad because you weren't upstairs, but Kieran.
Okay.
Won't mention any last names. He is doing Movember.
Oh, okay.
Movember used to be a big thing, and it kind of was
15 years ago.
Died off
absolutely,
a wee bit.
and then slowly died away. It's things like that, but I can see it coming back.
Yeah, I can too. So he's doing Movember. So he's taking donations, and I don't expect you to find out who Karen is, but make a donation to Movember if you can. And that. So good on you, Karen, for doing that.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Every year I think about doing the Movember, but then I start growing some facial hair and I realize I don't think I should do Movember. It's hard. And maybe that's why it's died down a little bit because it is a tough.
It's like when the playoffs in the NHL, right? You see the old boys who, have a Thornton there, like within 2 days of not shaving, he had a beard thick, and you see these little kids.
He can pull it off. Yeah, Thornton can pull it off, but yeah, the little kids.
And I remember when Sid first started.
The patches. I don't even know. Yeah, he has a mustache, but he's never really.
He kind of had the little patches here and there during the playoffs and all that.
Hey, it happens. I get it.
Yeah. So that's my we're cricketing.
Oops, yeah.
And that's my share.
That wasn't our pet fly, right?
No, we don't have any. It's too cold tonight. Too cold for the flies.
That was actually an alarm on my part there. So
there you go.
Cricket.
So as we mentioned before, you and I both do Throwback Thursday at work, and it's slowly getting some recognition.
So to review what Throwback Thursday is,
go ahead.
We each pick a song. We don't know which song we pick, and we post it. It's pretty simple on our work conference email, and people vote on which song they prefer.
People vote, and
the throwback has to be 20 years or older.
Yeah. And you and I both like music.
Yes.
It's a real sweet treat when you find new music that you've never, like a band or a singer or something like that you've never heard about. And that happened to me back a few years ago. A friend of my mom's was coming to Almont for a concert and asked if we'd like to go because I can't remember who the highlight of the concert was. Anyways, the band before the main was this band that got on stage, and I thought, oh, this is kind of cool. And they started playing, and I'm telling you, you know how you sometimes just find that music and it's just like, wow. Like,
Yeah, it hits you.
oh, I mean, so,
Instant connection.
so by far my favorite Canadian band now,
Okay.
Durham County Poets. And yeah, so if you like them, if you like to, they kind of got a bit of rock, kind of a bit of jazz rock,
Okay.
blues, and that. But I tell you, like, their music is so smooth.
Canadiana as well, right?
Canadian, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And that. Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to the Durham County Poets because they're just they're a great band.
I'll have to check them out. You know what? They sound familiar.
I've probably talked about them.
Yeah. Who knows? I probably down the road somewhere heard them at some point. So, but I'll check them again if I haven't already, and I'll take a look. I'm just on. I just Googled them right away, and yeah, there we go. We'll take a look. Nice.
The nice thing about their music is the instruments don't overtake the music, the lyrics. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how there's some bands where the lyrics are so loud and they sing so loud that you can't really, it's like they're competing against each other.
Yeah. So sort of, yeah. I listen to some music like that, but I get it.
Well,
but this just all blends in nicely.
So the interesting thing is, and a lot of people wouldn't know this about you, Matt, but what music do you like to listen to that everybody would be anybody who knows you would be blown away?
Like heavy metal?
Well, you like the grunge kind
grunge,
of.
Grunge, heavy metal. I listen to it all, right? Post metal,
that
rap.
Stuff that sounds like a cat is being
I
stabbed to death and
some experimental
ran over at the same time by a spiked tire or something slowly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever see that America's Got Talent one where the young girl and the brother come out onto stage? And the kid's playing the drums, and she just looks like this sweet little innocent girl, and she's maybe about, I don't know, like 8, maybe 7. And all of a sudden she starts. It was back when Howard Stern was on.
Yeah. He was on America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That just shows how much I watch that show.
And she starts doing this grunge.
You don't mean Howie Mandel, right?
No, Howard Stern. Howard Stern. I think it was America's Got Talent.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Howie Mandel's on both.
Yeah.
So, and then she just went hard.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
She just like...
There's a lot of videos now that if you go on Twitter or whatever, just this sweet, innocent looking kid, and then they just start thrashing the heaviest.
That's what she did. She was growling and groaning and making all these weird noises, and I don't know. They called it music, anyways. But I don't understand what it is. Anyways, those are my shout outs. Oh, and we also have to give a shout out to
you were nice enough to bring me another coffee again from the same place, Equator.
Yep.
Coffee, yep. And located in Almont, among other.
Established in 1998.
Yeah, 98. I wonder, hold on. Yeah, and it's good. I just drink it black, so I like it. You call it sometimes...
used motor oil.
So there's a location in Canada,
the NAC,
Almont,
Barrhaven.
Yeah. There's 1, 2,
like 4 locations.
Yeah, 5 locations
5
here.
Locations?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So NAC, Westboro, Canada, Almont, and Barrhaven.
There we go.
Nice. Really good. Highly recommend it. Very nice coffee. Local. So that's good.
There we go. So something that so throughout the week, you and I talk about the podcast. We don't talk about what we want to talk about or anything like that. That's never discussed, but we throw out ideas. So one of the things I threw out was having a little fun with the whole Balderdash game. If anybody who doesn't know what Balderdash is, it's a word game. So there are hundreds of unusual words, and people.
No, your phone's going now. I thought there was maybe a UFO above us for a sec.
That's what I thought too. So then the players have to make up their own definition of the word. You throw everything in the pot. And,
you had to refresh my memory for this game. I didn't really remember it.
Yeah, and then whoever is the reader reads all the definitions plus the original.
It's a good game.
Yeah, it's a great game. Plus the actual definition.
Yeah.
and then and then people guess which definition is real. And
So are you going to put me on the spot to come
I'm
up
going to
with
put you on the spot. So hang on here a sec. Talk for a minute because I had it up, but now I've lost it.
So Trace has something planned here. She's looking it up. I'm not too sure. I think I'm going to have to come up with a definition.
You're going to have to come up with the definition of a word.
Okay.
And we will.
And do you have the correct definition, or somebody does? One of us will. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
So how are we going to do this? We should have planned this.
Yeah, we should have.
Okay. All right.
All right. So here's the thing. I'm going to say the word, and then while we're talking, you think of a definition, and I'll think of a definition, and in a few minutes
we'll go back to the word. Okay.
So the word is nidifice. Nidifice. Now, part of this makes it so fun is me trying to pronounce half these words, because you know that I blubber up words left, right, and center. And I know right now, if Meg's listening to this, she's going to start to giggle away.
Nidifice.
You can't look up the word. Can't look up the def.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, no, I guess you can.
Yeah, it's not coming up though. Anyway, okay. All right.
Nidifice.
Nidifice.
Nidifice. All right.
And you have no.
I have the definition.
You may. Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna as we're talking, we're gonna be thinking of a definition, and then in a few minutes we'll do this. We'll each say our definition. I'll throw in the real definition also, and then you have to. Then we'll tell what the real meaning of it is after.
Okay.
Yeah, just for just for the hell of it.
All right. That's
okay.
All right.
All right. The other thing I need to clarify is we got talking about Stompin' Tom last podcast, and Gail and Terry were listening to it while on their walk, and Terry pointed out, and Gail then emailed me or text me to let me know that Stompin' Tom, although he was born in Nova Scotia or New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, I can't remember which one.
I think it was Nova Scotia.
He lived most of his younger years in PEI because he was adopted by a family from Skinner Pond. And he actually lived there till he was 15 with the family. And then at the young age of 15, he packed his bags and started hitchhiking across Canada. And
Amazing.
that was the beginning of his...
Born St. John, New Brunswick.
Yeah. But only lived there for a very short period of time.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And the birth name, Charles Thomas Connors.
There you go.
I did not know that.
There you go. Yeah.
Known as Stompin' Tom.
Legend,
Stompin' Tom. Icon, Canadian icon.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. And interesting enough, for Throwback Thursday this week, we each picked two very important bands from each of their countries. So
that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. We both picked bands. One is from one country and one's from another country.
I'm still waiting for the week where we have the same band picked or even the same song. You never know. It's going to happen.
Yeah, I think so. I was going to pick a song, but then I got thinking, I thought, I think Matt's already did it. And I think you did, so I didn't.
Yeah, we need to keep a list.
Yeah. Well,
people
have said to us we need to start a Spotify playlist.
I don't do Spotify, but whatever, that works. Yeah.
Or Apple, doesn't matter, whatever. I mean, you can do an Apple, I can do a Spotify. You're an Apple dude, I'm an Samsung.
Samsung, yeah.
So an Android. So yeah, so that's what's going on. That's about it. Nothing really too exciting going on. I guess since we've last had it, we had the election in the U.S., and we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave that. I think everyone was just tired. There was so much, the build up to it. Anytime you put on the news or the TV for that matter, it's just, it's all it was. So, and it's funny, now it's gone. Money, I haven't really watched.
No, I haven't really.
Much.
Did you know that in Switzerland, it's illegal to own one guinea pig?
Interesting.
It is. And you know why it's illegal?
Why?
Because apparently guinea pigs are very sociable animals.
Yeah.
And if they're on their own, they become depressed.
I had 2 guinea pigs and I couldn't imagine one being alone. Like they went at the same time, and they really did go at the same time.
Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was reading something and that came up and I thought, that's not interesting. Yeah. So in Switzerland, it's illegal. Now, I don't know if they have guinea pig police going around to...
How would you...
How would you?
I'm sure there's obscure laws like that.
I guess at a pet store, if you have to buy 2.
Yeah.
I guess that's
there
right.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's just to up the sales of guinea pigs.
Maybe.
Because no one wants them.
They do smell, don't they?
Yeah, they smell. They're expensive buggers. So surprisingly, they would cost more than my dog and my cat because you have to get the kibble, the hay, the greens. So you always have to get lettuce or spinach or kale or something like that.
Kale, so gross.
Yeah. Well, it's for the guinea pigs, but all the stuff adds up, and and the bedding. The bedding is also the big cost. And you can go cheap with the bedding, but then they stink more. Then you try to get more expensive premium bedding, and they still stink. So it doesn't matter. But regardless, you're still spending a lot of money on these.
So they're stinky, expensive little buggers.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
They were really expensive for you guys.
Now they were cute, but. And the other thing that I sort of miss with them, but at the same time not, whenever I would start peeling carrots, because I'd give them scraps after, if I'm peeling carrots, I'll give them the peels, or chopping lettuce, I'll give them the scraps of that, and they'd start squealing. So anytime I had the peeler out for anything, they would just start squealing, which is pretty cute actually. So whenever I peel carrots, I feel like something's missing.
There you go. You have to pull up a video of guinea pigs squealing just so you have that in the back of it.
Yeah.
In that. So yeah. So guinea pigs. Yeah. No, I never.
You never had guinea pigs?
Never had a guinea pig.
No. Ferrets, snakes.
When I was in college, I babysat for one of my classmates. Their ferret while they were away for. They lived at home, they lived at home, so they didn't stay in residence, and they were going away, and they needed somebody to take care of their ferret. So I said I would do it, and
they're sort of sly looking. Right?
Yeah, but they are kind of adorable.
They are adorable, but yeah.
But no, never had a weasel. Weasels are nasty, nasty little things. Nasty. Really? We know a gentleman who used to raise. He's actually no longer with us. He used to raise meat hens. And one single night, a weasel got into his shed and killed 200. And all they do is just bite their necks. And
so meat hens, how many meat hens would he have? You said 200, or?
Yeah, he had about 200.
And how many did the weasel kill?
I think they killed everything, but I think maybe 10 or...
Within the night?
Yeah. So funny story about meat hens.
How is that even possible?
Well, because they can go fast, right? They just bite and bite the neck.
Okay.
So good friends of ours, Al and Louise, used to live down the road from us, from my place and my mom's place, and we became good friends. I'm still good friends with them. And Al fell in love with the farm and they were both retired and was at the farm every day helping out and everything like that. And they're both French, very French. So this one year we had raised meat hens, and the day had come to do away with them. And so we got a plucker. We got a plucker from another friend, and so we deheaded them, plucked them, and then we would take birds into the old milk house where my mom and Louise had tables set up, and my daughter took the day off school to help out. And she stayed. She did it for a little while, but then she ventured away. Anyways, so my mom and Louise were doing this. Louise had never done this before. Done this before. Mom was showing her what to do. And all of a sudden we heard this heckling coming from the milk room. We couldn't understand what was going on. I go in and my mom is keeled over, almost dying from laughter. And Louise is standing there laughing. And I guess Louise was talking a mile a minute like she always does. Oh, now we got a phone call coming. Hey, this is...
Holy moly. Let me just turn this off. Okay, go on.
And anyways, and she'd put her hand inside the chicken to pull out the organs and everything. Well, I guess she grabbed the vocal cord and she gave it a little chuck, not realizing.
Yeah.
And this decapitated, defeathered chicken started to go.
Oh my God.
I guess the chicken went up in the air.
Throwing up in the air?
Louise kind of jumps back and says, you know, in a very French accent, "It's alive! It's alive!" and yeah, so that's my dead chicken meat hand story.
Now, do you have any meat hens, or do you just have cows?
We just have cows and a horse. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll probably get meat hens again this year.
Yeah.
They're a lot of work.
Are they? What's the most work on a farm? In a way, well, that's a sort of an open-ended.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, probably taking care of the cows because that's every day, right?
Yeah.
Like haying there's a lot of work when it's haying season. There's a lot of work. When
it's always a lot of work.
It's always a lot of work.
And I'd like you to know that I approached a tractor on my way here today. I put on my signal. I waited at the appropriate time, put on my signal, passed, kept the signal on, put it back, going back in the lane, and away I went. Go. Yeah. Nice and patient. I think the farmer was happy with me.
Gave lots of room when you pulled in.
I gave myself a pat on the back. I always give lots of room. I get it. I've driven enough in the country, so
you know what I think people don't realize anymore either is when I don't know if we already talked about this, when a transport is passing you. Mm-hmm. Did we talk about this the last time?
I don't think so. It doesn't sound familiar.
It's just respectful if a transport's passing you,
like on the highway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or on the road, like on a highway or whatever, and they're signaling to go back in. Just flash your lights a couple times to let them know that there's lots of room. I have a feeling we may have already talked about this.
Either way, that is a good thing to do for sure.
And that's so. Yeah, when I was talking to Michaela this week, and she was, I told her that we'd given her a shout out last time. She said, "Man," she said, "I listened to your podcast, and man, it was a lot." And I said, "I know, it was an hour and a bit." And she's like, "No, not the time. You guys like covered all the bases on a lot of stuff. Like you just never stopped."
All over the place.
That's what
and sometimes I have these notes for dead air moments, dead air.
There you go.
We're not too sure what we're going to talk about, but that doesn't seem to happen. An example of what I have, this is a question you asked me. So I have a list of dead air questions. And "Our baby's cute" is one. And I don't even remember what the conversation was, but I have that written down for some reason. So are they cute? If they're your own, 100%.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, my daughter, I mean, I always joke and say, I didn't go in labor to have my daughter. I just opened the front door and my daughter walked in. So, and I was very blessed that day that she did. But I'm sure anybody who's listening has been put in that position where, they meet somebody with a new baby and they're like, "Oh, wow, it's cute." Meanwhile, in the back of your mind, you're thinking, "Holy hell." This is the ugliest, most awkward looking thing I've ever seen. No, not all babies are cute.
No, not all babies are cute. This is true. I don't.
But yeah, it
becomes awkward.
It's awkward.
Even I'm awkward
when
talking about it right now.
Even showing you pictures of, like, "Oh, look at my little nephew that was born. Isn't he gorgeous?" And you're thinking, "Oh, jeepers, creepers, dude."
Yeah.
Yeah. Hope you got a good personality because the looks aren't looking too good going for you right now. You're going to get so much slack for this one.
I know. But,
I can just hear my mother now. Tracy?
I have to admit, though, like sometimes I'd be like, okay, this baby isn't all that cute. I wonder what it's going to look like when they're a little older. And you see them a little older and they've outgrown that awkward little baby
That
face.
Is true. That is true. Yeah. Yeah. But no, not all babies are cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate to inform
Mhm.
parents, but you may have a not cute looking kid. And there's a lot of people lying to you.
What about puppies? They're pretty much all cute, though.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, puppies. Yeah, like a puppy's a puppy. Like,
Mhm.
how can you? It's like
Mhm.
calves, right? Like every
Yeah.
calf is cute
Mhm.
in that. So yeah, but yeah, no, I can't remember how we got in that conversation.
I don't know. I just it's written down, and
I don't know. But
so what about the balderdash? What was the?
Okay. So do you have your definition ready?
I forget what it was. What was the name again?
Nidifice.
Nidifice. Okay, so I should come up with something.
Yeah.
Okay. Thinking you're an alien or belonging or relating to another species.
Oh, nidifice. All right.
Mhm.
All right. Nidifice, a nest,
Okay.
or nidifice, a birth. What does this say? A birthmark that looks like an N on someone's face. Nidifice.
All right. A birthmark that looks like an N.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on someone's face. All right. When do we give the answer?
I don't know. You think everybody's made their pick already?
Yeah.
All right. Nidifice
Mhm.
is a nest.
Okay. When you said that, I'm like, that must be. I like the
So the
birthmark
example
on
is-
someone's face.
The lizard climbed into the nidifice only to be eaten by the mother eagle. That's your example. I never even read that example ahead of time. So yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't know how I came up with mine. Just I thought the aliens last episode. So
Eaten by the mother eagle. So at school, we have the explore.org camera video up throughout for the day,
Mhm.
which has all different live cams of animals all over
That's
the
right.
world.
Mhm.
And it started because we did the Fat Bear Week last year,
Mhm.
and so we watched the grizzly bears up north a lot, but right now it's dark there for most of the day, so we
Mhm.
don't get to. But we did have a little awkward moment there that time.
So
when-
yeah, it's playing all day in
Yeah.
the background.
Yeah. on the big screen.
On the big screen.
And we did have that little bit of an embarrassing moment there that time when the two bears started to mate, and,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't like they were like off in the far corner of the screen. They were. It was sex ed at the best for the kids in class.
Luckily, I wasn't there for that.
Yes.
And then there was last week. I thought you get to choose through all of them, and you see little pictures, little thumbnails, and I'm like, oh, there were the puffins, right? I'm like, oh, the puffins look cute. Let's check that out. So you put it on, and they were adorable. They were looking at the camera right in their nest. And,
They were adorable.
yeah.
Until
And then what
one
happened?
One
Yeah.
was nesting
Yeah.
until another puffin showed up and started beating the crap out of the the nesting puffin. And then we had to switch off that because we were pulling up classroom because we were explaining a new assignment to the students. We came back to the puffins, and there was blood, and the puffin was laying there flapping.
So is that nidifice? Is that what that is?
I guess. Yeah, that's true, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, well, let's turn this off. And one of the students was like, what the hell happened to it? I'm like,
So the puffins weren't all that cute.
no. So yeah, no, it was a moment.
Or one of them wasn't. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, and I don't know.
A wolf in sheep's clothing, perhaps.
Exactly.
Right?
And maybe it was just hurt and it would
Oh,
fine.
could be. Yeah.
I don't know, but I wasn't sticking around to watch it. There was enough blood to let me know that probably
So now we know not to look at the puffins.
we're not doing the puffins
And
anymore.
the bears. I like the polar bears. That's
Yeah.
kind of boring, maybe, I guess. But
Yeah, no, the polar bears are
No,
kind of cool.
yeah, they're neat.
There's they're big bears, those polar bears.
Yeah.
There's that video out of a guy who's in like a I think I showed it to you, right? That's in a glass case.
Yes.
And the polar bear comes over and like it's shaking the cage.
Yeah. He's in a cage.
All glass
It
or
looks like it's 8x8, probably. It's pretty big. It's not small. Maybe a little small. It's
Yeah, no, I think it was just him. I don't think there was a lot of room for him to move in it or anything like that.
But he was moving. The bear was moving that thing.
It was
around,
like a cab.
Like
it was like a cab on a tractor.
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah. That actually makes more sense.
More like size. Yeah, and that polar bear was like it was rocking it, and it put its paws up, and it's amazing how big those paws are.
Yeah, I hope I never encounter a polar bear. That's.
Would you rather be eaten by a polar bear or eaten by an alligator?
Oh, polar bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm.
Because you like the cold?
Yeah, I'm in the cold. If I'm getting eaten by an alligator, it's in the swamp, which is just way more disgusting on a completely different level. The lead up to getting eaten by an alligator sounds a lot worse than the lead up being eaten by a polar bear.
Yeah.
What about you?
Gee. I would say alligator, because then I don't have to deal with the coldness. Matt really likes the cold. Yes. I do not like the cold.
The cold, winter is my favorite.
Winter is awful. It's disgusting. There's nothing nice about winter. Not one damn.
Absolutely love it.
Nothing about it. Nothing about it. Nothing.
I will not be able to convince you that.
No. Do you remember the time when, and I'm not going to say his name because I don't think he'd be too worried that we said Costello, who is one of the teachers at our school, walked into the classroom, and what did he say to you?
So to back it up a little bit, in the winter months, I enjoy fat biking. So I get the fat tire bike. So these bikes that have tires that are about 4.5 inches wide, and I go out into the trails and I'll go biking in the trails with my studded fat bike tires, and we call the bikes fatties. Right? So I'll be like, well, I took my fatty out for a ride.
So what did Costello say to you?
He walked into the classroom and said, have you taken out your fatty lately? And that's that.
That's that.
Yeah.
And I don't.
And it was like, oh, that was, yeah. But the truth was, I went fat bike. Or no, did I? I know I was planning on taking it out. That was 2 years ago, I think. So
yeah,
I wasn't able to go out.
I think that was your first year up with us. That was
yeah, I wasn't able to go out much that year, but last year, surprisingly, I was able to go out quite a bit last year, despite the miserable winter we had in terms of the lack of snow and everything. But
it was great.
The trails lasted, and I like when the trails are a little icy too, because I do have studs on the tires. So ice isn't a problem. Ice is actually preferable for me because there's less walkers in the trails. So I don't, nothing against the walkers, but it's nice to bike and have it a little bit empty, right?
You never did make it up?
No, so I do a lot at South March, Highlands in Canada.
Means
South
nothing.
Canada. Yeah. Then also Stony Swamp. I go in that area, and then La Rose Forest, but I've been meaning to go at Benny's Corners in Almont. And I think that's right by where you are, right?
Yeah, it's just down the road from us.
So yeah, I go on a website called Trail Forks, and they'll have all the different places, all the trails around your area. You can go anywhere in North America pretty much and look and see what bike trails there are. And they had Benny's Corners there, and people will rate it and everything. So I'm going to check that out this winter.
So you're going to get your fatty out, and
I'm going to get my fatty out and go to Benny's Corners.
Yeah. All right.
I think I nicknamed my bike Fatty. Maybe that's where it came from, but yeah.
Yeah, in the winter, I just don't get it. It's like downhill skiing. It's like downhill skiing. I don't understand why people spend hundreds of dollars and sometimes thousands of dollars to buy all this equipment, and then spends money to go up on a lift and stand in line in the freezing cold, only to go up into a lift, only to come back down where you started. Like,
well, it's fun going down, right?
Well, I don't know. I just don't get it.
I haven't downhill skied much in my life for whatever reason, but it just sounds busy. The times I did go, it was busy.
Yeah, you're around a whole bunch of people, and you know, like you and I avoid people.
Cross country skiing is good for that.
I like cross country skiing. I haven't done it a lot lately, but I haven't actually done it in years. But you and I avoid people. So here's the thing. Whenever we come back from holidays or summer holidays or anything like that, what do you and I do? We avoid everybody. Why do we avoid people?
How was your holidays?
Exactly. And let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. For somebody who we don't really have a lot to do with, right? And even not even at work, just in general. Like if I'm in the grocery store and I run into somebody that maybe I talk to 3 or 4 times a year, I'm going on my rant here.
No, this is perfect.
Like, do they really care what my holidays were like? I mean, not that they don't wish. I mean, I don't wish ill on anybody, but really, do they want to hear what I certainly don't give a rat's patootie.
Well, I think they want to eventually
get around to
about their holidays, which is fine. I'm willing to listen, but I can just cut the fat because my holidays usually aren't all that interesting to talk about. I guess I can say I went fat biking. That's usually how it goes, right? In the summer, yeah.
No, it's just it's true. You and I avoid people the first week or so when we come back from any holidays. Like the people that we work closely with, like our team, by all means. Yeah, because we can make those connections. We know the family. You know what I mean?
My secret's revealed now. That
yeah, exactly.
It's like, where's Matt? Oh, it's the first week.
But remember...
I do like listening to it.
But remember, was it last Christmas or was it this summer? One of the teachers that we really didn't know very well walked into our classroom to drop off a test or something.
Yeah.
And I jokingly said, "Oh, we're not ignoring you. It's just, like we just kind of avoid everybody when we come back from holidays because, really like," and she's like, "Oh no, I get it. I'm the same way." Like,
oh yeah, we're not the only ones.
I hope you had a nice holiday, but I really don't want to hear about it because you really don't want to hear about mine. And I'm like, finally, somebody else who gets it besides you and I.
And it's also, especially after like the March break, for example, that's only 1 week. It feels so quick. Unless you've traveled somewhere, there's not much I can say.
Exactly.
It just goes by. I did the groceries 5 times,
Yeah, exactly. I birthed a cow, and
yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's more interesting than mine, but
yeah, no, and people are always interested. So, actually, a friend of mine, we were just talking about this the other night. I was over at his place helping with a calf, and it must have been 2 years ago. We were trying to figure out when it was. 2 years ago, he called one evening that he had a cow that was calving and he was going to need some help. So I went over. He lives on the other side of Carlton Place. And I don't know, it was like maybe 9:00, 9:30 or something like that. Anyways, we got the calf out. It was a hard pull. We got the calf out and all that, but it was a bit of a challenge.
How many people does it usually take?
Well, 2 people at least.
Okay.
At least.
At least. Okay.
And then if you have somebody else who, this is going to sound weird, but if you have somebody else who can keep opening the cow opening, like to keep pushing the skin back and everything, it'll help. Anyway, so I was coming home. Because I had my barn clothes and everything on. Barn clothes were already dirty as it was because you only wash your barn clothes like once a week because, you wash your barn clothes to the point where they're standing up on their own or you just can't stand the smell of yourself anymore. Like, let's be honest. I don't wash my barn clothes every night. Like,
fair enough.
I just don't. They stay out in the garage and my overalls or whatever. So I was coming home and it was about 1:00 in the morning. I think it was around New Year's Eve. I think it might have been just couple of days after or a couple of days before. I'm thinking it was around New Year's Eve. And anyways, next thing I know, there's lights on and there's a ride program.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh crap. Of course, I don't have my wallet or anything with me because I very rarely have my wallet with me when I'm driving around town and all that. So I stop. And I mean, I had like placenta and blood all over me. I had my barn hat on, which just like stinks. It's its own like breeding bacteria. And anyways, he shines a flashlight and he looks at me and he says, "Have you been?" Whoa! And that's exactly what he does, right? And I'm looking at him and I'm like, "Hi," and he's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "I just was over helping a friend deliver a calf." And he's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And these are my barn clothes. So they're already, stinky and stained as it is. And all this blood and all this stuff is placenta. And really, I didn't, murder anybody. And he's like, "Did you really deliver a calf?" And I'm like, "Yeah. Do you want to see a picture?" And he's like, Yeah. Anyways, there was 3 cops. And so he calls his other 2 buddies over. He's like, guys, come on over. Listen, she just delivered a calf. So I'm showing them a picture of the new calf. And they're like, oh, it's so sweet and everything. This. And I'm like, so can I go now? And he's like, yeah, license and registration. I'm like, yeah, no, ain't happening. I'm sorry. I don't have it with me. He's like, that's okay. Go home, wash up.
Yeah, you get a pass. You just delivered a calf. Like, what do you expect to have your wallet on you, I suppose?
But yeah, I think the poor guy thought he'd just come across a mass murder or something.
So that must have been a first for him, I imagine. But
I would think so. I would think so. He was pretty excited to see the new calf born.
Yeah, nice.
It's always exciting to see a new calf. So
it is. I have never seen. Maybe let me know next time or at some point.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd make it in time for.
No, it takes. Yeah, it's pretty quick, right?
Well, yeah. The older the cow, the quicker it is. But I mean, they can be in labor for a couple of hours.
Okay. And how old can they be?
You breed them when they're about a year and a half.
Okay.
And it's 9-month gestation. So
yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, year and a half, 2 years. It all depends. It all depends on their size too. If they're smaller, you want to give them a little bit more time to grow and all that. But
okay, yeah,
they'll start to step and their tails start to switch and they what we call falling down. So at the tip of their tailbone, to their hips, they'll start to fall down a bit.
Okay,
because the calf is shifting, getting ready to go down.
I see,
into the birth canal, and they'll. Like humans, they'll drop their mucus plug and water will break, and then once you start seeing the feet, you start getting ready. As soon as the feet are out enough that you can get some ropes on them and pull them out, you pull them out to get them out as quick as you can. How long after a calf's born? How long till it's up and walking around?
We talked about
or trying to at least.
Trying to?
Yeah.
10 minutes?
Yeah, 20 minutes max,
20
probably.
minutes, which surprises me, to be honest.
Yeah, but do you know why?
Why?
Well, because it's their instinct, right? It's their instinct. It's their instinct of being in the wild, and they have to get up and get moving so they don't get ate by predators, right?
Makes sense, yeah.
So with cows, it's all about instinct. And it's funny because I'll get these videos sent to me by friends, they'll show a cow, crying and they'll say, like this cow's crying because they just, had their baby taken away from them. Or they'll have a video of, 2 cows being reunited and they're jumping around and they're all happy. And
yeah.
Sorry.
It's all BS.
Well, let's just say when we wean our calves off, the cows will call for a couple of days. But as soon as if we were to give them a bale of hay or put corn or anything out, they would forget about the cows really quick and start eating.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between emotions and there's an instinct,
yeah.
right? And for cows, it's an instinct. And as for this, galloping around the fields because they've just been reunited, our neighbors sometimes can't get, they milk, and they sometimes can't get a cow and calve through AI, artificial insemination. So they'll bring them over to our place to use our bull. And when we bring them into the field with our cows, new cow, never seen them before, they act the same way as if they were being reunited with an old friend. It's just cows have a totem pole. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Not a totem pole. They have a pecking order.
Okay.
And there's the alpha, there's the main leader, and then you have to, you fight other ones to kind of get into that to take over. So, yeah, no, I'm sorry, and I'm sure I've offended some people, and I'm really sorry.
So they're fairly social, in a way.
Yeah, they are. They are. Some of them are. I mean, we had one cow, that was a real sweetheart, real sweetheart, like a dog. And she had this calf, and we nicknamed it. We ended up calling it Rosemary's Baby because it was the most disgusting thing. You couldn't even get anywhere near it, and it was handled and everything as a calf. Like it should have been quiet. Nope, never could pet it. Never, nothing. In the calf at the beginning, you kind of could, but then once it kind of got bigger,
there's just some that
we tried to get the cattle into a field, and she would run to the other end and try to call them all away.
Really?
She was just a miserable, miserable, miserable cow.
Just born that way.
Just born that way. Yeah. So yeah, no, they certainly have personalities, but no, I'm sorry, people.
They don't mourn or
no
get all excited when they reunite or
no. And the calves, like when we have the calves in the barn and we're weaning them off, the calves will call.
Mm-hmm.
But again, they're calling because they want the milk. It's not that they want mom to lick their ears and that they want the milk. So, and the cows are calling because the calves are calling.
They have some sort of incentive.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, no, it's instinct.
Yeah.
It's sorry.
Now elephants, though, they mourn.
Yeah, they do apparently.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen some videos, so I don't know if they're true now after you told me this about the cows, but I think they even bury their dead too. And
oh, really?
I think so. There's some
chat GTP.
Well, you know what? I know they cry too. Let's try ChatGPT, but we won't get.
Yeah, we can't get them to.
Let's turn down the
voice
volume
it because
see.
we already broke the law.
Hey, do elephants mourn the dead?
Yes, elephants.
Okay.
We can still hear it, Matt. You're still breaking the law. You're still breaking the law.
I know. Maybe yes. So it's saying that elephants have been observed mourning their dead in a way that is quite moving. So apparently it's pretty emotional, right? They often show deep interest in the bodies of the deceased herd members, touching and gently caressing the remains with their trunks. That's what I saw.
There you go.
That's amazing. They sometimes stand in a vigil or return to the site where the herd member died and show signs of distress. These behaviors suggest strong emotion response to their death, similar to grief. So
there you go. I mean, cows certainly. I mean, don't get me wrong. Cows will certainly if we're outside and we're doing something in the pasture, the cows will come over and check out and see what we're doing and nudge us because they want pets and all that. But yeah, no, they give them. I guess the thing is, if my kid was taken away from me,
yeah,
and somebody offered me food, I'd be saying no, thank you. I want to, but cows will go to the food. They'll just automatically. It's an instinct. It's
survival.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. The other thing they do is they'll try to eat their placenta because they want to clean up any.
Oh, really?
Unlike humans who will supposedly eat your placenta.
I've heard of that.
The placenta is very nutritious. Yeah. No, thank you.
I bet you they have really cute babies.
Probably, yeah. 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 And want everybody to know about their cute babies. Yeah, no, I'm not. No, thank you. No.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Or like making ice cream out of your breast milk.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that one.
I've heard that one.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
no.
Hey.
Yeah. But some tribes do it.
Yeah. Actually, that's probably not that bad of an idea, I guess, if the kid likes it. Yeah.
Would you eat oyster prairies?
No. What's that?
Oyster prairies? The testicles of cows?
Oh,
bulls? Yeah. Very big out in Alberta?
Familiar. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I would not eat that. No. Have you?
No.
No? Okay. All right.
There's
and cow tongue?
No. My gram loved all that kind of stuff. No, I can't even stand the smell of liver.
Do they still, I feel like back in the day, you go to any butchery, like in
yeah, no, they
store.
don't. They don't. They
used to though, right?
Yeah, they used to, or bull penises.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm good.
I guess he's not getting out his big fatty.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Moving on.
Oh, my mom's so gonna scold me for this one.
Yeah. Yeah. What else do we got? We did the Boulder. So are we going to do the Boulder Dash every episode? Or?
Yeah, why not?
I like it.
it.
That's good. Well, we can.
I like it. Yeah.
We could even not reveal it
until the next one,
and then see if people can guess.
Ooh, they can leave comments.
Comments, or just let us know.
Yeah.
In person. whatever they choose to do.
I like it. I like Balderdash. We
Yeah.
always said that at work it'd be fun to do a game night sometime after school, after work.
Yeah.
And I noticed another little shout out for Equator Coffee. I noticed when we were getting our coffee, they're having a board night. I think it's November.
Those are always fun.
Yeah.
Or I like trivia nights. Not everyone loves trivia nights, but
I
do
like trivia nights.
Yeah, trivia nights good. So a board game at Equator. I'd like to check that out. That's pretty cool. I wonder what like just any game. You just sort of it's a social, more of a social.
Bring your board game and
Gotcha. Yeah.
Chess. Do you play chess?
I used to. Yeah. I thought I was decent at it until I played a student who beat me in 2 minutes probably and said I'm not that good at the game. I was like, oh, all right. Yeah. I just sort of do it as a little pastime.
Yeah, no, I never.
I know the rules, but yeah, I haven't played chess in probably, I would say 20 years, 15 years. Oh, no, yeah, not 20 years, more like 15 years.
I have.
It's a good game though.
I have never played chess at all.
I'd like to take it up again. So
Checkers,
yeah, I don't like checkers.
Old Maid,
Yeah, I don't know.
poker.
Poker I play, yeah.
Do you ever play Flinch?
No, what's that?
It is a card game where you there's a rack
Mm-hmm.
and you're dealt cards and you put them in
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to go from lowest to highest.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to go if it's an order,
Yeah.
you get extra points. But depending on how high you go up on the rack depends on how many points you get. The higher you go up, but I think it's a total of 10 cards.
Okay.
And that it's an old game. We used to every Friday.
I just Googled it. It was invented in 1901 by A.J. Patterson.
There you go.
The deck has 150 cards consisting of 10 sets numbered from 1 to 15. Some variations use 144 card decks and whatever. Yeah, interesting.
So when I was a kid, we used to always go to the Bowses,
Mm-hmm.
Alex and Edith and Alvin, two brothers, one sister, and they would play board games, and
Mhm.
I would watch on TV the Tommy Hunter show, the Johnny Cash show,
Yep. I
and the
remember you
Stomp and Tom,
telling me about that.
and I would stomp my foot.
Nice. Yeah, you had your board? You had a board?
I don't think I had a board. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe they did get me a board so I didn't stomp the floor. I can't remember. But yeah, no, it was.
Speaking of, well, not boards, but so when I came in here to set up the podcast mics and everything, there was it looks like a hockey stick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does look like a handmade.
Yeah. I'm
Kind of
looking at it right now. It looks old. And I'd like to find out. I don't know who would know. You have a meeting here.
You keep talking.
Yeah.
I'll make a phone call.
Oh, you're going to make a phone call.
I'll make a phone call.
So yeah, it's hard to, if this is a hockey stick, this would be one of like the earliest hockey sticks I've ever seen. And it seems to have the bottom of the blade has a metal part to keep it together where it curves from the shaft of the stick to the
Hi,
blade.
Doreen.
Oh.
Hi.
Listen, you're on podcast right now because we have to ask you a question, okay?
Okay.
The stick that was on the table when we came in, that's an old hockey stick.
It is?
Do you know the year or anything behind it?
No, I don't.
Okay. We were just talking about it. We were wondering, and I said,
To be in our Christmas exhibit.
ooh, the
Oh,
Christmas exhibit. Nice. Okay, listen, I'll let you go because I know I put you on the spot and that, but thank you.
Okay, that's it.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Doreen,
well-
I'm going to hear about this now.
No, that's good. No, you know what though? So it makes room for our next episode. I'll do a little bit of research with the history of hockey sticks, how they're made, how hockey was invented, right?
Renfrew.
Renfrew?
Renfrew.
Yes. So if you ever look at the Stanley Cup, the top of the cup,
Mm-hmm.
so probably I would say the most famous trophy in professional sports by far
Oh, yeah.
is the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
You look at the top of it, it has Renfrew written right across. So
Renfrew Millionaires.
Yeah, Renfrew Millionaires. We could look into that. That was amazing. People used to take the train from Ottawa to Renfrew just to watch the Millionaires play. which is pretty neat.
Yep. Talk about
rich history.
people taking trains where we live.
Mhm.
The family that lived there before us was Johnny and Ansley Waddell, who have now both passed on. John Jay was born there. John Jay passed when he was 100 years old. And he would always tell us about, he can remember people taking the road and the horse and carriage to go to Perth to see the last hanging.
Oh, wow.
And not only that, how many years ago do you think was the last beheading in...
Beheading?
I think it was in France.
Okay. How many years?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
It was not that long ago. The guillotine.
Yeah, the good old guillotine. 100 years? Less than that?
Ooh, yeah, I think it was less than that. You can keep talking there. I'm going to look this up.
I think Perth also had the last duel.
Yes.
If memory serves me correct. And they still know where the site is for that.
Yeah, no. Use of the guillotine continued in France in the 19th and 20th century, and the last execution by guillotine occurred in 1977.
What? Really? Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I was way off.
In September of 1981, France outlawed capital punishment, although thus abandoning the guillotine forever. There is a museum dedicated to the guillotine in Linden, Sweden. Yeah, 1977. The last time the guillotine was used.
That's
not that's
wild.
I'm older than that.
Yeah.
You're not, but I am.
I can't believe that. Just, well, thank God that's not happening again. Hopefully not.
And the last hanging.
So back to the last duel in Perth. There's a park called Last Duel Park.
There is in Perth. Yeah.
I did not know that. And the Perth Brewery has a Last Duel lager. So this is something that they're, I don't want to say proud of, but they like to sort of mention it quite a bit.
The last.
Now, I would assume Last Duel Park is in the area where there was the last duel. I'd like to look into that a little bit more.
I would assume so.
Mm-hmm.
So Perth, Ontario. Perth, Ontario is a nice little spot.
Mm-hmm.
The last execution was carried out. Oh, this might have been in Toronto. Yeah, no, I'm not sure when it is in Toronto, in Perth, but it wasn't that long ago. That's for sure.
So in the Perth Museum, back to the duel, you can still see the pistols there.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. Maybe, they abolished the 1976 is when they stopped it.
Here, back to the last duel. So the last legal duel in Canada, the last fatal duel occurred May 22nd, 1838.
It's my birthday.
Not the year, but yes. At Verdun, Lower Canada, when lawyer Robert Sweeney shot and killed Major Henry Ward.
There you go.
Who had sent a love letter to Miss Sweeney. The last fatal duel in Upper Canada took place in Perth, June 13th, 1833. So
nice.
A few years earlier, yeah.
I know our I don't know if it was our first one or our second one. I had talked about the Almont train wreck, which happened in 1942.
Mm-hmm.
And I know our website for the museum has a information on it. It was it's worth reading. It's quite interesting, actually.
All right.
And that, so, and if we don't have it on the website, we better get it up there now because I just said there was-
Absolutely. So, but I think for next episode, I'd like to talk a little bit more about the hockey in this area and just, Ottawa area.
Best hockey player ever?
Oh. We'll talk about that next episode. How does that sound?
Yeah.
That's quite the debate.
Matt's a big time Sens fan.
Yes, I am. Yep.
And I'm a Montreal Canadian fan.
Mm-hmm.
My saying is there's only two teams to cheer for in the NHL. That's Montreal and anybody who plays Ottawa because Ottawa is very annoying.
I don't love that saying, but I think it's pretty funny at the same time. But yeah. And we'll talk about our favorite
We've got some pretty diehard
Leaf fans.
in our classroom.
Yeah. I don't care much for the Leafs, but you
Cheer for the Leafs before I cheer for Senators.
Yeah, okay, all right. Cool.
The only time I kind of wish that Senators would win was when Anderson.
Craig Anderson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His last time there.
He was good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hardcore Sens fan. Always.
Yeah, no, it's...
No.
So, Chris Neal's brother lived... I don't know if he still does, but he did live in Almont.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter went to school with his two sons, so Chris Neal's nephews.
Well, Chris Neal had a skating park. I don't know if he still does. I believe it. I don't know where it is. Again, we can look into that.
And so my daughter was wanting to have some friends over one weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, invite whoever you want. And I said, if you want to invite,
Mm-hmm.
the Neal lads. And she's like, there's no way. No way I'm inviting them because you'll just go on to them about their uncle. I'm like, no, I wouldn't do that.
Oh, that's funny.
So anyways, what's the time here?
We're at an hour and 6 minutes, so we could probably... I know,
wow.
Right? Again, time flies when you're having fun.
Time's fly. I was worried that we're not...
And I like it because we brew some ideas for future episodes. We got the hockey and then look into the duel a little bit more. And this is the museum. I'd like to look at some of the artifacts. I like to stick there. I want to look at some more stuff here. And there's always ideas here, which is nice.
There we go.
Yeah. And
there we go.
Well, if there's any... It feels like we're still on the shoutouts.
It does, actually. Yes.
Yeah.
So, yes, I do apologize to Doreen for calling her and putting her on.
I can cut that out if
no,
need
it's okay.
be, but
no, it's okay. We gotta, get them used to because we want either her or Ed to come on the.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah,
we're gonna have guests every once in a while. So,
and then you also said an AI expert, and I didn't know what you were talking about. I thought you meant artificial intelligence. I was like, okay, and then you said his name, and you kept on saying AI expert. What did you mean?
Artificial insemination.
An AI expert. I love it. That'd be great.
Yeah, no, you said you'd like that idea. So yeah, I have to talk him into it. But yeah,
it would be great.
Everybody's wondering who's.
It would be great to have some guests on.
So he goes around and breeds cows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I would love to have guests, experts or whatever, someone who just likes to shoot the breeze. You never know. I have a few people in mind as well. If anybody listening wants to be a guest on, just drop us a line.
We've had a few people say they'd like to King.
Yeah. Perfect.
King's, yeah.
Okay.
That'll be interesting when King comes on.
All right. So shall we wrap this up?
I think we'll wrap it up. I got to go and check cattle and throw wood in the stove.
Excellent. I got to watch the Sens beat the Leafs tonight.
Oh, I have to give a chocolate bar to one of our students because my Canadians lost to the Leafs on the weekend. It reminds me. So anyways.
Okay. Well, again, thank you to North Lanark Regional Museum for letting us record in this awesome place. And thank you to Equator Coffee. Trace, thank you for the Equator Coffee. Equator, you make great coffee. And anything else? And just remember, you're on the rural roads and or in the rural areas and you see a green light, pull over because it's a volunteer firefighter going to fight a fire or an accident. Awesome. All right. Stay well, my friends. Take care. Bye.